It is 3 a.m. The room is completely dark, except for the harsh, cold glare of the digital clock. You are exhausted, but your mind is racing, and you cannot stop your body from staying alert. When you finally drag yourself out of bed the next morning, the reaction is almost automatic. You go online, searching for the best supplement to finally knock you out tonight. But this instinct ignores a biological reality. For decades, supplement marketing has presented every sleep problem as a single, identical condition, treatable with a generic cure-all pill. Biologically, these are distinct issues. Lying awake with a racing mind is a different mechanical failure than waking up 4 times a night, and neither of those is the same as the jet lag caused by crossing time zones. Before you can choose a specific intervention, you have to diagnose exactly which biological process in your body is failing to transition into sleep. The first distinct failure is timing. This diagram shows a biological circadian wave offset from your required sleep lock. When your internal clock falls out of sync with your environment, you end up wide awake when you should be resting, or exhausted when you need to be alert. This timing mismatch happens frequently when natural rhythms collide with modern routines. A prime example is shift work, where the demands of the job force you to try to sleep while the sun is up. You experience the exact same biological confusion when you cross multiple time zones and rapidly shift your environmental cues. This is a circadian problem. This is exactly where melatonin fits. Melatonin works as a precision timing tool to shift your body clock earlier or later. It functions as a signal to the brain, rather than a heavy sedative designed to artificially knock you unconscious. But what if your schedule is perfectly fine? You are physically exhausted, yet you still feel completely wired the moment your head hits the pillow? That is a profile of bedtime tension and mental overactivation. For this specific state of alertness, L-theanine is the more relevant consideration. The clinical data for L-theanine is promising, but still limited. It acts as a calming, wind-down support to help ease mental alertness. It lacks the pharmaceutical power required to force a body into a heavy sedative state. Its value is in shifting an anxious brain into a calmer state. If you are waking up because of a misaligned schedule or physical pain, L-theanine will not address the underlying disruption. The third category of sleep failure belongs to those who want a gentle, routine-friendly aid without the direct impact of shifting their circadian rhythm. This is where people usually turn to magnesium. Despite the marketing, magnesium is an essential mineral that your body requires for normal cellular processes. Because it supports general physiology, it is most effective for individuals whose dietary intake is too low to maintain those baseline functions. These products are actually magnesium molecules bound to different carrier compounds, like glycine or citric acid. These carriers change how the mineral passes through the intestinal wall. If a form is poorly absorbed, it remains in the gut and often causes a laxative effect. A better tolerated form simply reaches the bloodstream more efficiently to support the body's requirements. Choosing a specific form is essentially a decision about digestive comfort and absorption efficiency, rather than a way to increase a sedative effect. Since magnesium supports general maintenance, it cannot reset a broken sleep schedule or cure severe insomnia. Because these products are labeled natural, many people assume they are a guaranteed fit for any problem. Out of frustration, it is common to start stacking multiple products together, hoping the combination finally works. But there are physical sleep failures that over-the-counter pills cannot reach. If you have loud snoring, find yourself gasping for air, or have witnessed breathing pauses during the night, those are structural issues that require medical intervention. Supplements also fail when they are actively overpowered by your habits. Late afternoon caffeine or an irregular bedtime routine will easily override the subtle calming effects of a wind-down aid. You cannot out-supplement a physical obstruction in your airway, and you cannot out-supplement the physiological alert signal triggered by stimulants. If your sleep disruption persists for weeks, affects your ability to function during the day, or started right after a change in your prescription medication, the self-treatment phase should end. At that point, you need to leave the supplement aisle and speak with a clinician to get a proper medical evaluation of the problem. A supplement's effectiveness depends entirely on whether its specific function, be it shifting a clock or easing tension, directly addresses the physical breakdown occurring in your body. Before you blindly ask, "What should I take tonight?" You have to accurately answer the real question: why am I awake?